Hello guys, you're welcome back. So this is an extension to the last class that we did on introduction to Excel. If you already know how to use Excel, also jump this video. I said it in the last video. If you already know how to use Excel, kindly jump. So we are coming with deep analysis, but this is for people who don't know how to use Excel or who will also want to refresh their brain on the use of Excel. On this particular video, we are going to talk about function. There are so many functions that Excel have so many functions. For example, when I click on this FX, you scroll down and see my most recently used function. Excel have so many functions, right? So in this video, I am going to show you how to use this function. So let's quickly start. The first one we are going to look at is count function, right? Count function. So let's see this. You say equal to, call the count function. Once you type the first word, all the functions that Excel have that has that alphabet will start popping out an intelligence for you. So I'll say count, then I'll select. When you click, hold your arrow key and scroll down, then close it. So look at this function count A1, that is the value of this tray, the cell where this tray is existing, to A10, then click enter. So automatically it has counted this. Look, let us count it physically. This 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it has counted 8. So automatically the number of cell that is occupied here is 8. So there is another one we call count blank. Count blank. So let's do count blank. Say count blank. There are so many of them, so but we'll just show you one or two. Press the arrow key and take it down. So it's going to count the number of blank cell that you selected. That is 1 and 2. Look at the and once, and if you want to see the formula, just click that place. Look, this is the formula. Click here, this is the formula. So you don't necessarily need to memorize these functions. You don't necessarily need to memorize this function. What you have to do is to remember that there is something called count. Once you type it, count, it will pop out for you. Equal to it will pop out for you, right? So now there is what we call count if. Count if. Count if helps us to make a decision. For example, if this is people score 38, 83, 70, 84, 77, 18, 47, 60. So if I want to know the number of people who got 70 and above, here I can use what they call count if, right? Just say equal to count if. Look at it. Count if. Then select the range. See, it has even showed me range and criteria. So select the range. When I select the range, I'll put comma and I'll say criteria greater than, quotation mark, greater than 70. I click enter. So if you look at it here, you will see that three values here, 1, 2, 3, are what is greater than 70, and that's why I get count 3. If I want to get the value less than 50, I'll just say less than 50, just like that. 4. So if you check 1, 2, 3, 4, we call it count if. We can go again, count if. So you choose the range. After choosing the range, you choose the criteria, and the criteria has to be in quotes, right? You choose the criteria. this automatically says, so this shows nothing, so you are counting if it's blank. But me, I don't want to count if it's blank. I want to count if it's less than 20. So how many value here is less than 20? 1 and 2. So there is another function they called count ifs, right? Count ifs. Let's check it out. Count ifs. So what this function does is it allows you to specify multiple conditions. For example, look at this table here, have name, level, score. There are so many: Jack, Jane, Jennifer. So if you watch, there's Jane in level 1, there's Jane in level 4, and also there's Jane in level 2. But I want to count all the Jane first. That can be counted using count if. That can be counted using count if, right? Comma. So it's telling you that you have 3 Jane. That is 1, 2, and 3, right? But what I'm interested in is, what if I want a particular Jane, probably a Jane in level 4? How do I access it? So that's where count ifs comes in. That's equal to count ifs. The first criteria is the person is going to be Jane. Criteria range is from here down to this place. It's from here to this place, right? Comma. What's the criteria? The person has to be Jane. Jane. What's the second range? From here to here, comma. What's the second criteria? The person has to be in level 4. In level 4. So this is going to give you a particular gene in level 4. How many gene do you have in level 4? That's what this function is going to give you, and it's 1. So if you check here, you see that it's only one gene, which is this one, that is Jane and also in level 4. There is some option. The same way there's count option, there's sum option. Like I can sum all these things, equal to sum, then select the range of what I want to sum, and say, and click enter. So this is the sum of all these values. Also, there is some if I want to use criteria to sum it. For example, I don't want to add anybody in level 1. If I want to do it that I don't want to add anybody in level 1, how do I do it? Sum if, what's the range, comma, is greater than 1, comma, then the sum range. That's it. So I don't want this thing to add the values for anybody who is in level 1. So this is it. For it didn't add this Jack, didn't add this Jane, didn't add this Jericho. What did I do? Look at the value here. Look at the formula. Sum if I selected the level first. So for the level, it can only sum it when it's greater than 1. If it's 1, it will not sum it. When it's greater than 1, this is the condition. This is the condition. So you have to meet this condition for you to be able to be added to the sum. So there is also sum if function. All right, just do equal to sum if. What are we trying to achieve? We are trying to achieve the sum of this score where the level is not 1. Once your level is 1, it's going to skip your score. It's going to skip your score. So do sum if. First of all, what's the column well that you're using to do the range? This is the range. So it will check, is your level 1? Yes, it will skip. Is your level 1? Yes, it will skip. If your level is 3, then it will add this 68 down. All right, comma. What's the criteria? Where the level is greater than 1, and what's the sum range? So that's exactly what we want to achieve. That's exactly what we want to achieve. Also, there's what we call sum ifs. That's when you have condition, multiple condition, just like you have count ifs. I want you to try that out and drop on comment section what you were able to find out. Okay, so we are going to quickly talk about the logical functions. For example, you have this student's name, level, and score, and you want to grade them. Anybody above 60 has passed. Anybody above 60 passed. So I level this place grade. The next thing is I'll use my if function. If score is greater than 60, comma, that means the person has passed. So you say pass. Else, the person failed. Then you close your bracket and say enter. I've gotten this here. The next thing is to either drag it or look at this place. Once your cursor change from here to here, just double click on it. It will pass the function down, just as we discussed on the last video. Another logical function that I want to talk about is AND, right? So I want to grade these students. This score 1 and this score 2. So I want to grade them based on their average score. I want to grade them based on their average score, and I want to be sure that before you pass, before I grade you pass, you must have passed on score 1, I must have passed on score 2, right? So what I'm going to do is and. What I'm going to use is and. That is equal to, and this is greater or equal to 60, comma. That is if this score is greater than or equal to 60 and this score is greater than or equal to 60. I can even do another and depending on the number of columns you have, right? So I'll just use, okay, the next one. So I'll just say, okay. So what it simply means is that Jack passed, right? Jack score more than 60 on score 1 and also score more than 60 on score 2. So what will I do? Look, once I bring this mouse here, it will change. Once I tap there, it will roll this formula down. Look, Jane failed. He passed in score 1 but failed in score 2. Jennifer passed. Jane passed. Jane passed. Janet passed. James failed. Passed in score 1, failed in score 2. So that's how it is. Another one is the OR function. Another logical function is the OR function. So what OR function does is it makes sure that any of the value is true. Any of the value is true. Right? It makes sure that any of the value is true. For example, if this is above 60 and this is not above 60, it's going to give it through. It's going to score the person pass. If this is above 60 and this one is not above 60, instead of to get fail, in the AND function, Once the both of them are not true is false. But here, once either of them is true, the answer is true. Let's go. This is greater than 60 or equal to 60. Yeah. Or this is greater than or equal to 60. Close. So once any of them is true, the grade is going to be true. That's pass. So if you watch on these gems now, the both of them are false. 50 is less than 60, 46 is less than 60. The same thing with Jericho. For example, look, this Jericho is true because 78 is true and 20 is false. If I change this 78 to something lesser, let's say 58, you will see the outcome change to false. Alright? So the next one I want to talk about is the not function. Not function will turn every true to false and every false to true. For example, look at this value here, right? If I include not in front of this place and go ahead and close it, this true has turned to false. So if I extend it down, all the true will turn to false and all the false will turn to true. One of the most important functions that we are going to talk about is the cell function. So in cell function, there's a relative, there's absolute, and there is mix. For example, let me show you. So assuming we have 1 here and 2 here. So once I select this, you already understand the assignment. It's called relative. So it will automatically assume that the next value I want to write is 3, 4, 5, 6. This is relative. Automatically, it's incrementing on its own, right? So you know this 2 times 1, 2, 2 times 2, 4, 2 times 3, 6, So let me assume that we want to multiply all this value by 2 and get the value here. 1 times 2, alright? 1 times 2. So this is it. And remember, just as I have this, I want to have 2 times 1, 2, 2 times 2, 4, 2 times 3, 6, 2 times 4, 8, 2 times 5, 10. So if I extend this, you will notice that this is an absolute cell, but it did not do justice to what I want to do. This did not do justice with what I want to do. Alright? At all. Why? Because it is incrementing the cell. Look, here is cell C2, C3, C4, B6, but that's not what I want. So what I will do is we will fix this cell here and we call it absolute cell, right? Absolute cell. All these other ones are relative, but we will make this absolute cell. How do we do it? Fix come to this place, add a dollar sign in the front, come to this place too, add a dollar sign and click enter. So this is 2. Now if I try to run it down, look, 2 times 1, 2, 2 times 2, 4, 2 times 3, 6, 2 times 4, 8. What happened? I have locked that cell. In as much as B6, B7, B8 is changing, this C2 remains permanent. I've locked it with that dollar sign in front of C and dollar sign in front of 2. So we call this absolute cell. I don't know if you understand this, but maybe I will need to do a separate video on it. We call this absolute cell. If I come to this place again and say 3, right? And I want to get equal to this times this, right? And say enter. So no. It's not C4 I'm talking about, it's B4. B4. Good. B4, right? So 3 times 1, 3, 3 times 2, 6, 3 times 3, 9. If I extend this like this, look, I will not get the right answer. What I will do is I will make this the absolute, right? By using dollar sign. Look at it here. So once I go down, if you go to the formula, look at where the formula is displaying. If you go to the formula, you will see that I have locked that D with dollar sign. It's called absolute cell. There is another one called mixed cell. Hey, hope you're able to enjoy this video. I will see you on our next video.